Alright, welcome back, and today we're going to discuss how to set up the Synology disk station. So we've already made sure that you've got the drives inserted, it's connected to your network, you plugged it in with an Ethernet cable to one of the ports on the back, and you push the power button to power it up. Now we're going to take a look on the inside. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to find.synology.com, and that will run an app, so it'll search your local network for your Synology device, and as you can see here, it found mine, and the default name is disk station. So let's go through and click connect, and there's all these terms, and you can just click OK because you can't dispute it anyway. And here we go. Welcome. Now, do you want to set it up? Yes. Click the button, and so we need to install the latest version. Okay, install. All data on hard disks 1, 2, 3, 4 will be removed during installation. Yes, we understand. And it starts at 0%, and it's going to move upward. Right now I'm going to tell you, get a piece of paper, write down your logins and passwords and emails that you're going to be doing here. You're going to be creating a lot of default settings, a lot of default passwords that you need to remember, so you don't have to go through this whole process again and risk losing your data. So, do that. I am going to watch Stargate while this loads. Alright. There's more to be done. Alright, so let's go ahead and choose a server name. Think carefully because this is going to be a name that follows you around for a while. So we're going to go with Butterfly. Come up with a username. I like to use my name sometimes. And a password. I'm choosing a simple one, because this is all for demo purposes, right? All right, now take a little piece of paper, write those things down. You're going to want those forever. If you have a password saving system, go ahead and use that. It's all good stuff. All right, now let's close that. I'm going to say go ahead and install latest DSM version automatically because it'll keep your system updated. I have not had any problems with that. It's going to look Monday and Friday at 6:05. And that must be AM times, yeah, because it goes from 0 to 23. So, you know what, why not set it for 3:05 AM? And we will run those tests next. And we're going to create a QuickConnect ID with a new Synology account. So you can do that, and you'll create one. I've already created one that I sort of use for demos here. So there we go. There's my information for that. Next. Yes. There we go. All right, so when you get your little link here, you want to save that because that'll be something you can do from any web browser, so you can access your server if you need to. Very handy if you're out of town. So let's drag that to the desktop to give you a free shortcut. There we go. Next. Hey, you're all set. So let's share the network location. Yes, in case you need to find it later. And we're not going to share device analytics. I think enough other people do that. We don't need to worry about it. Here's just some tips, right? All your programs you can access from this menu here. This is like your app store. They call it Package Center. The programs or apps, they call packages. Server talk. And here's a control panel with a whole bunch of different settings, users, network configurations, stuff like that. So let's get started. Look, your disk station is working well. Okay, we're just gonna, we got help articles that'll launch when you log in if you want to. All right, let's start though by going to our storage manager. And in our storage manager, you see we have 4 unused disks. So let's check our volumes. There's no volumes. We have no storage pools, but we have 4 drives. So step number 1 is we need to take these 4 drives and smash them together so they act like one drive. And we want to do that with a RAID configuration. So let's go to storage pool and let's create. And we want this, a higher flexibility one. Next. Storage pool type. Not SHR, we want RAID. And RAID 1 is going to be like simply mirror images. And there's a different RAID versions here, right? It actually gets pretty complex. I think what we want is the RAID 6. Right? So you need 4 disks. Similar to RAID 5, it provides another layer of striping and can sustain 2 drive failures. So if 2 of your 4 terabyte drives in there fail, you'll be okay. Of course, it gives you less total storage, right? So out of those the 16 terabytes of hard drive space you bought, you're going to be able to use, I don't know how much. Well, you can look it up. There's calculators online. You know, why don't we do that now? Let's go RAID configuration calculator. Here we go, free RAID calculator. So the number of disks are 4. Single disk terabyte, there's 4 terabytes each. And if we're using RAID 0, well, we get to use all 16 terabytes. Okay, but if we're using RAID 5, well, then you're only able to use 8 of those terabytes for storage space because it's using the other space to back it up. If we go with the RAID 6, oh, that RAID 6 now. That one needs 8 disks. What about this one here? Capacity. Okay, yeah, again, so it's going to give you 8 terabytes of space using the RAID 6 configuration. So more space is RAID 0 because it's just one continuous drive, and it's going to give you some data reductant. It's going to give you some better speed. It's going to give you some data protection, but I'm going to recommend RAID 6. So you end up with about 8 terabytes to use, but you've got your backups, and that's the whole point of using something like this. So let's go with RAID 6. Click Next. We're going to have all of these be part of that configuration. So let's go Next. And again, it's going to delete any data that's on there. It's okay. We're just setting it up. So click OK. Click Apply. Saving. See here, capacity about 7.27 terabytes. It's about that 8 terabytes we're talking about. All right, we've used a storage. We've created a storage pool. Now we're going to have to create a volume so it'll act like a hard drive for this system. So like it's telling us here. Let's move forward. Okay, there's that. Volume. So we're going to create a volume. And we'll create custom. Next. We're going to choose an existing storage pool. The one that we just made, storage pool 1, the only one we have. Next. And we'll just use all the defaults there. Next. BTRFS. Always do that. Next. Apply. And here it's creating your volume. So now that we've got our volume created, we can move on to the fun stuff like installing packages and applications. Okay, so there you have it. What did we do today? We set up the storage pool. We got online with our Synology first, right? So we found it. We gave it the name, the administrator passwords, things like that. Created our account. We created the storage pool from the drives that we installed. We created a RAID configuration so that it's going to automatically have backups, so we're safe. And lastly, we created the volume so that we can then begin to create folders in there. So that's all for this video. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon.